morning guys, so we're out again for another adventure. Thor and I are doing the 5-item challenge today. So the items that I've picked are my axe, my ferro rod, my blanket, my bivvy bag and my kettle. And you're also allowed to utilise anything you can forage or find. And I'm not joking, there is a lamp in that bush and I'm taking the cordage. I'm taking the wires out of this to use as my cordage. And then we're going to get moving. So good find. I've got a pack with me. I've got my clothing, my jacket and my Gore-Tex I'm not wearing just now. My blanket and my bivvy are there, my kettle's here. Got this cordage, so I'm just going to shove this in the bag and then we'll get going. Okay, so I'm back at these brambles. I'm going to use my teapot as a gathering tool, but I really need to find some plastic bottles. That's going to be the next bit of garbage that we're going to utilise. So use my teapot, gather these up and then we'll get moving. Right, so I'm really not willing to pass up some of these goodies, especially when you're kind of limited to what food you can bring on these challenges, so it all has to fit inside your pockets. Thor, you don't necessarily have to carry it all in your pockets, but you know, there can't be any overflow from said pockets. Now there is a big old chunky branch of brambles just over here. Grass in here, and that'll stop the brambles rolling about, and it means I can just hang my teapot back on my pack. I'm really hoping that somewhere we find some garbage. As I was saying, yeah, so could really use some storage bottles because we're going to go and check out a couple of places. There's a frickin' bottle right there. There is a frickin' bottle. We're going to get that. Alright, I'm going to try and not cut my nuts open on this wire. Alright, we made it. Thor, stay. Alright. Beautiful. Thor, stay there. Nailed it. Another plastic bottle. Yeah, I did. 2 in fact. So we're going to ditch the gear, decide where we're going to have... Is that a grill? Oh, we may have... We've only been gone about 15-20 minutes and we've managed to get cordage, water containers, and we just found another couple of water containers, but there's so much wood here just lying on the ground. I think we might try and camp up here, get our shelter built a little bit easier. So obviously a couple of days ago, last week, we got that crazy weather, all the wind, so there is a ton of these trees that have fallen. I'm just paying rather meticulous attention to deadfall and widowmakers. Wow. This is some serious foliage here. Wow, okay. Yeah, alright, I'll come back once we're at camp. Well, here's our camp from last time. And you can see this big bad boy that's fallen down. Oh, damn. Wow. And that one's cracked as well, see? Holy shit. Holy shit. Alright, well, this will be fun. Oh, I'm so pleased. We've still got some wood here. We've still got our state-of-the-art wood processing system. So, that is awesome. Okay, so I'm not too sure how I feel about... I think if this was to fall, it's going to land in that V shape up there, because I genuinely feel like this is going to be where the shelter is, to be honest with you, because there ain't really... There is a V-shaped tree over there though. Hang on a sec, let's go have a look. So we're looking for a tree with a fork in it like this. Quite a lot of sheep poop here. There's another one there. But honestly, I feel like this one here is going to be the one. Because it ain't going anywhere. Let me get this tape off. So the first thing I want to do is get this tape off. Yeah, I think that's definitely where we're going to camp. I'm just going to trust that that deadfall, if it falls, isn't going to kill me. And we can get on with looking for some shelter building stuff and go and get that water cleared out and go over the gear. So that's what we'll do right now. 5-item challenge. So basically you're allowed any 5 bits of gear, not including what's called ghost kit. So you're allowed your clothes, you're allowed a big jacket and a jumper, a scarf, sunglasses, any safety equipment you need. I've got a pair of gloves for when I'm using my axe for safety, and I've got a set of safety glasses. Thor's kit doesn't count, your first aid doesn't count, your camera gear doesn't count. You're allowed one little luxury item, whether it might be a tin of beer or a hip flask or something along those lines. So what have I got? Got my Gore-Tex, got my wool jumper, and I've got my schmaw. I've also got my black zip-up hoodie for clothing. I've got my teapot, my axe, my bivvy bag, and my blanket, which counts as 2 items. And I've also got my ferro rod. Now I've also got my cigarettes. I've got a lighter with me, which is just for lighting my cigarettes with, not for fire making or anything like that. But you'll see me do all that. You know, there's no... I'm only cheating. If I'm cheating, I'm only cheating myself. So it's not about that. But I really do feel this is the place to be. I was going to head up to top camp, but there isn't a water source up there for Thor. We still might head up. It's just there, everything seems to just be right here that we need, and it's already going to be a big enough pain in the ass, so why make it more of a pain in the ass? So yeah, this is going to be our main support. and we're just going to build off of this. But the first thing I'm going to do is roll a ciggy, and then we're going to go and clear out this water bottle down here and get some water for the dog gathered up. Oh, food. Let me show you how that works. Alright, so items of food have to be in basically your trouser pockets. So my first item of deliciousness, sorry, just checking for dog walkers, is a small pack of rice. Really compact, really filling, and always good to bring for challenges like this. Then we have, of course, a bag of cooked mussels. Delicious. Why not? They're freaking delicious. Boom! Fat steak. Cooking directly on the coals, unless we can salvage a grill. A couple of raw bars. The old macadamia and coconut. Another couple of raw bars. Seasoning for the steak. And a couple of packets of porridge. So I think that's more than enough. More than enough. Oh no, packet of boiled sweeties. So that's our larder for the evening, and Thor's got a couple of tins of food, a bowl for his water, and some snacks. Some snacky snacks, and yeah, happy days. Tripod, the other camera, my my floodlight, and also there should be my other phone and my luxury item. So this is down there with the camera gear. Got my hip flask. This was given to me once again by my wizard friend Alan. This is my luxury item. It's full of cherry brandy, so we're going to soak on that this evening. Very nice. Rest of the gear is here. Got my gloves and my safety my glasses. We got our cordage from that lamp that we found. We've got our bottle. I brought this lithium battery from an old mobile phone. I thought we could try and use this for starting our fire with. I've seen a lot of people do this, and I'm very interested to see how this would work out. From a prepping point of view, that's going to be one thing that there's going to be an abundance of with lithium batteries come the end of days. So if we can utilize these, that would be awesome. So that's going down into there. But that is a fake found piece of gear, but I just thought it would be interesting. Emergency phone, obviously for actual emergencies. Got my smoking pouch, which has got all my cigarettes and all the stuff that I use for smoking, and we'll stick away anything that we don't need. We've got a couple of joggers there. Alright, so put away the non-essential gear and we'll crack on. The brambles into my sunglasses case just now, so that this is now empty, and we can get this, give that a wash, and go down and give this bottle a wash. Just hang them up there, keep them all nice and safe so they don't get squashed. Got my safety glasses, get them on, grab my gloves, and then we'll go and get this show on the road, I think. These salvage bottles is open them and smell them and make sure they don't smell of piss. Like, that could be the wheatiest, most dehydrated pee in there ever. And if it is pee, we don't use these bottles. Hang on. It fizzed, that's a good sign. Yeah, it smells like cola. So what we'll do is we'll get this washed out, and then when we get a rolling boil from the water, when we boil it, we'll sanitize the mouthpiece, pour our water into here, and then we'll be able to actually store and transport water, which will be awesome. But there is another bottle down there that I'm going to get. Probably going to slice that open and use that to eat my mussels out of. Now that I think about it, I might cut into this one. I might cut some sort of like rectangle out of here and cook my mussels and then tip them into here to eat. That might be a better idea, and then use the other bottle that's down there to store the water in, because we are going to have to cook the mussels in here. So, bit of a pain in the balls. Well, the mussels are actually cooked, they just need heated up, so that's good. And if we can find a grill, great. If not, I'm planning on cooking that steak just on the coals. And we have got a little bit of cordage. So, like I say, I brought that battery with me, but that's my pile of scavenged items. The cordage, the bottles, and the battery that I did bring. But again, it's one of those things, even if you've got your own phone and then, you know, it runs out of juice, you're going to have battery in it. So that's what we're going to try out. Not particularly in the most safe way, I might add, because I've only got an axe. So this is going to be spicy, but we'll see what happens. So we're going to go grab some more water bottles and fill up the ones that we have, and get on with the shelter building. Once we've got the shelter up, we'll get our fire done and we'll just crack on. Nice. Alright, so we need to cross over here, and then we're gonna go down to where I've seen those other bottles and see what else we can find to aid us this evening. Nature. Oh, got a whole bunch of sheep over there, and there's a ram as well. Thor, this way. Thor's gonna have his chance. Look at him. Yeah, maybe I'll just go this way and Dad won't see me. Come on, Goomba. He really wants to go see those sheep. Alright, so it's not far down here, and we should have our next bit of salvaged equipment. Trying to not drag home a whole bunch of sheep poo on the feet. Got another wee thing to jump over here. Like that. So it should just be down here. This majestic beast here. Yeah, I can see the little camp or whatever it was. Here we go. Someone's come down for a wee bit of a party. Oofed. That was almost an ankle snapper. Alright, so a couple of big plastic bottles, and there is a grill. So yeah, we'll take all this. But we're going to wash everything down there and then we'll get cracking on. Got our water filled, we found a grill, we're good to go. So we can start building the shelter now. Alright, so we got our water back to camp. We're going to get started on this shelter. Now hopefully we're going to build out this way. Just depends, we'll see how we get on. Challenge, I'm bringing a chainsaw. It's allowed. Alright, we are getting there. Slowly but surely. I think once before this is completely cleared, or completely finished, so I'm going to clear out all the crap that's underneath here and just fling it on the roof. So we're getting there. It's a good height, it's a good size. Should do us good for the evening anyway. And I'm making it pretty robust. I mean, you can see the thickness of all this. But we shall crack. Somebody got munched. So we've got spine and some jawbones and all kinds of stuff, but definitely going to be taking this skull away because I'm a morbid son of a bitch. It stinks. And I'll be taking the jawbones. Nice! Alright, so there's another pile of logs that I've already cut just up there. I just need to bring them, lay them on, fill in some gaps, but for now we're going to tuck into those brambles, hydrate off the brambles a little bit, have a smoke. So I'm going to sit here, got my my brambles, and then we're going to get cracking on. Sun's starting to go down. It's 10 to 7. Got a wee bit yet still to do, so we need to get cracking, but I need to have some nature candies. Always good. But to be honest, this is still really easy. I mean, building the shelter is a nightmare. I've went pretty thick on the wood, so maybe didn't need to do that, but I'm just using what is available. You know, I'm not chopping anything down and then splitting it down. I've only got a small axe. I can definitely see where a bigger axe will be key for this sort of thing. Or Carlisle's chainsaw. That would would definitely be good right now. But I'm getting a little bit of moisture from these brambles, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of a morale boost, and I'm not even going to eat them all. I'm just going to eat a few, have some of my cigarette, and then get back to it. Because lots to do. But we've got a healthy pile of firewood that's building up over there, and that's not an issue. And I reckon that's still going to be standing next time we come, so we'll see how much more we can build on this little area before it gets torn down. We shall see. And I think next couple of weeks I'm going to start doing the coastal camps, and there's quite an extreme weather warning from November. They said it's going to be the coldest and heaviest snow in a decade, which means there's going to be a damn lot, like a huge amount of snow. Because the last few years we've had a lot. So hopefully we'll be able to do some snow camping and push our skill set a little further, because I've not done any real extreme snow camping, winter camping. So yeah, looking forward to that, in fact. Yes. Alright, I'm going to munch these and get on. So, I got like halfway through the shelter and realised this is going to be enough. I've just got to chuck some stuff on the top, but sleeping underneath there, you can see I'll have my head down this end, maybe even down that end. I'm going to block this end up. But yeah, I didn't need to do it as big as I thought. and those logs are not freaking light, man. So I'm gonna sweep out everything from under there, chuck everything that I've got on the top, and then get some freaking firewood and get some food. But I tell you what, I feel like I've earned my night in the woods. Got a battle scar as well, so yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab the floodlight just so we can see what we're doing while we're gathering our pine sap. So, and our tree is right here. I mean, look at that. Look in here. I mean, wow. So, to be honest, that might do us. Little spider in there. Come on, buddy. That just might do us. I don't like taking more than we need. So, we'll throw a spark into this and see what happens. Alright, so we're going to see if we can just get this lump of bark with the sap to take a spark, and hopefully this is what we'll use for our fire right now. Okay, so we did have to use the lighter to get that sap going. Just one of these things. So I think for me, it's a bit of an eye opener for, you know, when you think to yourself, oh, I'll try and use my axe as a striker, and then you try it at home and everything seems fine, but then of course you try it out in the field and it all goes tits up. So lesson learned. But I think you can see we've got a very much established little fire. We used that bit of pitch or sap that we found, so I'm just going to build this up now and then we'll cut that. Honestly, thank God we got the fire going. Had to trade out my ferro rod for a lighter. Sadly enough, I felt like I was going to hack through my ferro rod, so unfortunately that was a bit of a fail, but this is why we do these things, to hone our skill set. So Sorry, buddy. Didn't see you there. You're a stealth dog. So just getting this fire built up now and get some food going. So the first thing I'm going to do is get some water, just keep building this up, and happy days. I can only really use this torch when I'm filming, so it's going out as soon as the camera goes off. It goes off. Yeah, so we need to get this fire big. I filled up the kettle with this bottle here, and what I'm going to do is the kettle's pretty much boiled now, so I'm going to pour some of this water out and fill it back up with the boiled stuff so it's safe to drink, and we'll have something we can actually bloody drink. I'm going to mash up the rest of those brambles and just throw them in right at the very end just to give it a bit of flavour, and we'll chuck in some pine needles as well. Actually, let's go get them. Fire. But man, I totally underestimated, you know, how long it was going to take to build that shelter, right? And also just how little of a shelter you actually need to build, as opposed to like a big mega structure that I was trying to build to begin with. Pine needles. Yeah, spiky little buggers. Yeah, that'll do. I'm gonna chuck all this in because the teapot has that little filter. I wouldn't say it's a filter, but it's certainly good enough to stop these big twigs going through. I'm going to grab those berries as well. Alright, so just kind of mash them up in my hand a little bit. Holy shit. That is getting hot in there now. Make sure there's none left in there. Back in the pocket for when the glasses are ready. Okay, so just gonna let this burn for a little while, and then gonna get some food on because I'm fucking seriously starving. Another few minutes on that, I think. I'm so freaking hungry. So earlier we found this grill, and what I'm doing is kind of scooping out an area of hot coals just like this, and then I'm going to put the grill on top. Literally just unfold the edges of this and lift this off and just pop that on. So I think first I'm going to get these mussels ready. I do love me some mussels. Ha ha ha! Okay, so pop our mussels on. Happy days. We are winning. Hells yeah. Fucking pleasant it is being camping without a torch in the middle of the woods. It's kind of spooky. Everything's cooking away quite nicely. I've got my luxury hip flask, I don't know if you can see this, maybe just the silhouette of it. I'm going to get this cooked. Oh, hang on, that's bubble. Right, I think we're done. I have to say, I am very pleased. Oh, ow! So I cleaned up my axe. That is going to be my cutting tool for my dinner. I have my freaking water sorted out. Chuck my spices back in the bag. I'll move this tripod as well. So we're going to eat because I am freaking starving, and the steak is definitely ready to start resting. That's awesome. Mussels can come off as well. I got cooked, they were pre-cooked, these mussels, which I figured was the better option for the outside cooking. So, let the steak rest, and then we're going to just get munching because I'm starving. Freaking awesome. Oh man, it looks so good. Let's cut it open and see what it looks like. Oh yeah. So yeah, very nice. Our steak, we got our mussels, and I need to just eat this now. I'm done. If you're ever cooking mussels, once you've cooked them, if there's some that aren't actually open, just bin them. Those aren't what you don't want to eat, closed mussels. Well, it's 20 to 9. We've got our shelter done. We've got our water purified for the night. Thor's fed. Thor's watered. I'm fed. I'm watered. So I'm going to drink this brandy now. Roll myself a smoke. Probably sit and relax for half an hour, 45 minutes, and then I think we're just going to chill out, get up early, and I think in the morning we're going to try and use that lithium battery to start our fire, and we'll have another look at the shelter. We'll see how terrible it actually is. Yeah, but definitely feel like I've earned my night in the woods tonight. And I have to say, mussels, cooked mussels in white wine and shallot sauce. Wow, what a campfire treat. So I have to say that I think that's going to be one of the staples of me coming out here, because it's just so good. I could have done with a big bit of crusty bread just to kind of mop up all the sauce, but as for now, I need to roll a cigarette desperately. So it's time to get our living area completely set up for the evening. So I've got my blanket inside my bivvy bag, stuff that isn't necessarily for sleeping. I am going to be putting my layers on, I'll tell you that right now. But I think what I'm going to do is just get this laid out nice and flat. Very nice. Okay, so we'll be sleeping with this and this and this. We have camera 1 and cordage. Just need to try and find the dog's lead. I'll still be over there. Let's go and have a look. There we go. And we're going to ground Thor around this tree, because he will go after the sheep. There you go, buddy. That'll keep you nice and safe for the night. Got my pot of boiled water. Happy Days t-shirt, you come with me. Oh, alright, so one thing I've learned is you sort of need to remember to not poke yourself in the eye when you come to your shelter. Nice. Right, I'm going to get some layers on. Alright, well, we're set up in camp. It is 9 o'clock, just after 9 o'clock. So I think I'm pretty lucky with the fact that there's not going to be an abundance of rain this evening. My shelter building definitely needs some work. But I think, again, as I said earlier, it's a lot easier to learn these skills in an environment and a time, you know, like this, than having to wait until it does hit the fan to see what your skill set's actually like. And, you know, I've learned a lot from this trip, and I think I'm only going to make it harder for myself in the woods. I just looked over there to where my fire was and absolutely shit my pants. Like a whole bunch of glowing orange embers just sat there. I didn't know, my brain did not know what that was. So yeah, so skill sets, you know, learning how to do things in a safe environment and being able to perfect your skills is key, you know, and putting yourself in situations where you're outside of your comfort zone. Like, it sucked carrying all these logs. It sucked a lot. And I done it with as minimal effort on my arms as I could. Lifted them up and then balanced them on my shoulder to carry them. And my arms don't feel rough at all. I feel like there's a rave going on somewhere. I don't know if you can hear that. That was crazy. It's gone away. It must have been a car or whatever. But thumping bass. Absolutely banging tracks. So, yeah. Craziness. Thor's had his dinner. He's all pleased with himself. He's about ready to just collapse. And yeah, it's been a very eye-opening experience. The situation with the ferro rod and the axe was very disappointing. Having to resort to the lighter. You know, it's funny, a couple of years ago when this challenge was set on the Man the Fuck Up group, well, on the Man the Fuck Up live chat, the items I said I was going to take were, I think it was a 2-litre stainless steel water bottle, a sleeping bag, jet flame lighter, a knife, and my tarp, I think. Yeah, I think so. And I think that's going to be the next setup that I bring out for this, because if I'm coming out in the pouring rain, I think I'd like to just throw up a tarp. Do you know what I mean? come out with give myself more time. What the fuck is that? It's like this freaking banging bass line just keeps coming out of nowhere, but it is pounding. Banging. Pretty cool if I did that rab skull as well. I found a few skulls in my time, but I've never found a whole one with the horns and things like that still attached. Sheep skulls, but never a ram skull. So that's pretty cool. Take that home and get it all cleaned up and non-disgusting. Hell yeah. Big shout out to Alan once again for my hip flask. Very nice. So cheers. I think as well, the sort of next challenge that I do, a lot of it's going to be done via voting on Facebook, because I kind of expected to find a lot of junk up here, cordage and bottles and all that kind of stuff. So I think having the decisions taken out of my hands is going to be quite interesting, because we can do Harlaw, we can do lower camp here, we can do the top camp, we can do Benally Reservoir, and yeah. But my next focus is going to be going down the coast. I keep saying this, I know I keep saying this, but there's just a few more things I need to get in order to have what I need for that, especially on my first trip out. I'm more just concerned about bugs and beasties that live in the sand that I don't know about that are going to cause us issues. So having a tent is something that I definitely want to do just for the dog's sake, for sure. So now we just have to figure out how to get into here with our blanket on. We shall see. Alright, so we're kind of in now, right? There was no easy way of doing it, but we're in. So I've got the blanket folded over underneath me and over the top, and the bivy bag with the big flap that's going to go over my head and kind of seal me in. So really tired and really feel like if I had maybe another 3 hours of daylight, I'd be a lot more comfy than I am now. But I think even looking forward from this, I really think that 8, maybe 9 items would be my entire standard kit after this, because there's not really much else that I need, you know? Definitely something to drink out of, but again, I got those bottles, and there's a lot more kind of field craft that I can do with plastic. Make cordage and things like that. You can make a jig with a knife that turns plastic bottles into cordage, and again, as a modern survival skill, with how many bottles there's going to be just lying around, it's good to know how to utilise them. So fish traps, mouse traps, containers, cordage, greenhouses if you've got enough of them, loads of stuff. I'm so chilled out. So, if you guys are new to the channel, or this is the first one of my videos that you've seen, or if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for sticking through this video till here. Thank you very much for watching any of my videos. YouTube's been something that I enjoy doing. I'm certainly not a big YouTuber or anything like that, but I really do enjoy it, and anything that you guys can do to help me grow the channel, sharing, liking, even just leaving comments, it really does help, and I enjoy this, you know. So keep interacting, and like I say, if you're new here, subscribe, click notification bell so that you get all the notifications of when stuff's going up. Let me know in the comments if there's stuff you want to see me do. Give me suggestions to push myself, because you know, there's only so many, I understand there's only so many times it's interesting seeing somebody do the same thing over and over. I'm going to get a bigger axe. I think it would have been a lot less stressful having a big chopper, but I need to have some time with a big chopper, a big axe, just to become competent using it. Very well watching people on YouTube, but there's a lot that can go wrong with heavy sharp things. So oh. And yeah, so I'm going to go on our smoke, and then I think we're going to munch on a munch ready. They're Pilo bars, I should say. But my camera is telling me I've got a low battery, so I'm going to save the last little bit of filming for when I'm just getting ready for bed. And we'll use the big camera in the my phone, so I thought I could just record on that. And I've cracked the screen, and now it doesn't work. God damn it. So if anyone's got a spare phone that they want to trade for some leather work, please let me know, because it's pretty much bedtime, and it is not fun doing things without a torch. So it's now 10 o'clock, and we're just going to chill out for a little while. Can't believe I cracked that phone screen. So yeah, anyone with a fucking spare phone, preferably an Android, Samsung, and want to do a bit of a trade, let me know ASAP. Alright, so no joke, it is freezing cold. I've been keeping warm by sleeping in the bivvy bag with the wool blanket over the top of me, and the dog cuddled beside me. But really stupid idea not having a fire. Whew, it is freezing cold. But another couple hours and we'll be getting up and getting a fire. Honest to God, that was a pain in the ass to get this lit. But I'm so grateful that it's lit. It's 7:30, so we're leaving in a couple of hours, but I just needed to get something lit for me and the dog. The dog really went above and beyond, keeping me warm last night, and I've got to return the favour now. Oh, it's so nice to be warm. I'm just going to keep building this up. Right, nice. Well, we learned a few things last night. You know, putting that blanket through the paces and trying to really get a grip for how effective they are when you don't have any thermals under you or a raised bed and you're sleeping directly on the ground. And as I thought, they're shit. So just because something's necessarily warm doesn't mean it's going to keep your thermals right. I really missed Big Agnes last night, and it's given me a new sense of appreciation for the dog. So when we go home today, we're going to sketch out a new jacket for him and get Rach putting together something for him. He needs a big, cozy, mega warm blanket jacket. But, you know, look at the size of this monster now. That's what I'm talking about. I had a total panic getting it lit. I didn't even want to film myself doing it. It was awful. And literally on the last spark of light. Alright, so the GoPro's out of battery. Of course, we broke our freaking new phone last night. Not good. And to make matters worse, the alarm that was set on my new phone for 4:30 went off at 4:30 and proceeded to continue to go off until 5:15. No touchscreen to turn it off. Ah, the joys. But yeah, I don't know why I didn't just sleep beside the fire last night. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. So this was home last night. I did take a lot of the stuff off the top this morning to burn, but we'll keep building on this. It was a lot of fun. Got my sheep's head. So yeah, happy days. We definitely learned last night what the priorities are for if you've not got an adequate sleep system. We were very lucky with the weather, I have to say, but a lot of fun. A lot of things have been put in perspective, a lot of skill sets have been highlighted that need to be worked on, and yeah, happy days. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Please leave a comment, subscribe, check out my Patreon, check out my merch, check out the Hey Buddy mug. All the links are below. And yeah, happy days. Past these guys. Get past these guys with this guy.